Hey, what's up everybody? Steve Schwartz here from LSAT Unplugged, joining you today to share how to get faster at LSAT Reading Comp. LSAT Reading Comp is often cited to be the most difficult section of the LSAT to improve on significantly, and while that may be true, it doesn't mean you can't improve a whole lot. In this video, I'll share with you some of the major strategies I've used with my students to help them improve their LSAT Reading Comp scores and improve their speed on the LSAT Reading Comp, as well as how to get faster. So without further ado, here's how to get faster at LSAT Reading Comp. First off, I find that way too many students spend way too long highlighting, underlining, and note-taking. This is especially problematic when taking the LSAT online because LSAC's highlighting and underlining tools, as you'll see even on LSAC's Law Hub, are glitchy and unprecise, meaning you'll waste valuable time trying to highlight or underline the exact portion of the text that you're trying to. Note-taking takes way too long as well. It takes time to write things down. It takes time to read what you wrote, and what you wrote down may not even be that useful. So given all of this, I recommend marking very minimally or possibly not even at all, and aiming simply to note-take the following. What is the main idea? What's the author's opinion? If they could leave you with only one central concept, what would that be? This could be just a few words or a single sentence. Leave it at that. And with this understanding alone, you will be able to knock out all the general global questions associated with the passage: main idea, primary purpose, passage organization, best title, tone, author's opinion. All of those relate to that core central idea of the passage. The details, the supporting examples, you can always go back and find those when you need to help you solve a specific question on the exam. So trust in your ability to go back to the passage. You do have that available to you after all. This is one reason I recommend approaching the questions out of order. Do all the general global questions first, like the ones I mentioned, main idea, primary purpose and such. Then all the local detail-oriented questions that would have line references on the paper version of the LSAT. They're highlighted in turquoise on both the question stem and in the passage when taking the LSAT online. Then finally and last, you solve the more general inferential questions that require a bit more reading between the lines, such as which one of the following would the author most likely agree with? And then of course last, you have the even harder ones like parallel reasoning, strengthen, and weaken, which are of course analogous to the similar types in the logical reasoning section of the LSAT. Now with LSAT Reading Comp, you have four major categories of topics. You have natural science, social science, humanities, and law. Even if you majored in the humanities or poli-sci, that doesn't mean that the law passages or social science passages will necessarily be easy, because the passages are deliberately chosen to be on topics that are unfamiliar and boring to most test takers. So you probably won't be that interested in or familiar with the passages they bring up. But you've got to feign interest, fake it till you make it, pretend that what LSAC is sharing with you is the most interesting thing in the world, and you can't wait to hear more about it. You can also dumb down or oversimplify the topic of the passage to make it more relatable, caricature the different viewpoints and parties presented in the passage to help you get a better handle on them. I'll share with you one of the most common frameworks I use to help me with LSAT Reading Comp in just a moment, but before I do, a little bit about LSAT Unplugged. We offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching, all of which is wrapped together in the LSAT Unplugged community, the membership, to help you achieve the highest LSAT score possible. I'm personally looking for a couple of students aiming to achieve a 170 plus on the LSAT in the next 3 to 6 months. If you'd like to find out more about the opportunity to work with me personally one-on-one, check out the links below this video to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd love to help you out. So I'm actually going to give you two of the biggest frameworks I use to help me on LSAT Reading Comp. One is to distinguish the major viewpoints in the passage between old and new. So we may have, for example, in natural science, an old, more limited understanding followed up by a newer, more comprehensive understanding, an update of sorts, if you will. So old versus new, or limited versus more comprehensive, or wrong versus right. is one major framework I've seen show up on the LSAT again and again and again. This is a simplified layer I place on top of the different viewpoints to make them more understandable. Another is objectivism versus subjectivism. Objectivism being the philosophy that there is one essential core truth that we can measure with scientific tools, for example, to say this plank of wood is exactly 10 feet long or something. In contrast, subjectivism would be the idea that truth is relative based on one's individual perspective. And so there is no one singular universal truth, but rather it's specific to different people at different points in time. You see this come up across all different sections of the LSAT reading comp, regardless of the topic. Look it up on Wikipedia for more. I'll share a bit about it below this video if I can. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.